Thank you very much for joining us today for what will be a very interesting discussion. We will be discussing connecting applications, data, and security for the business of tomorrow. It's a vexing topic, to say the least, because there's been a bit of a transformation in terms of how we approach technology today. We have to move from infrastructure-centric views to application-centric views. We have to enable people using applications, which are the touch points for users today. How do they access the relevant resources, namely data, while doing that work, and how do we do it securely?
And the value of a company's brand, customer attrition, and customer growth is now in many cases sitting squarely on the services, performance, and value offered by the applications. In many cases, the application of a business is becoming the business's IP, and the application drives a significant part of the business revenue stream. So the application in a typical organization is becoming the business driver.
The flexibility that cloud gives us to innovate and to be more agile, we almost need to bring that into the way that we operate our businesses. There's new ways in which we need to integrate. So we need to consider API approaches and really push them in this hybrid environment and making sure it's almost an API everywhere approach. And also, how do we, in the new microservices world, how do we connect these things through APIs?
The relationship needs to be much closer, because there are certain things we can do with technology and certain things we can't do. And we need to understand what are those barriers that we are facing currently, and how do we cross those barriers together? How do we work together to make sure that we assist our customers to have those guardrails, that the user experience, the governance, the security, and the application delivery is exactly the same? Because business shouldn't care where the application resides. This should be a function on infrastructure, and they should look at the pros and cons of where to put this application and still be able to deliver on the SLA provided by business.
So more data is being generated, and on the other end of the scale, we're having a lot more data, demand on data, as people realize the value of the data. So if you speak simply, data has various aspects. So if you think about data disciplines, it has various aspects. But if you concentrate just on the integration element for now, it is a discipline and a topic that requires a different mindset and a new approach.
All of us are either sitting in an office building or we're at home, right? And that means there's a network in between where we are and the application that we're trying to get to. And in many cases these days, those networks, they're not necessarily yours, right? They belong to someone else, but it impacts the experience your employees or your users have. Monitoring all of that, integrating all that data in one collective way, it's bringing all that together, right? And that includes security natively at the application layer, embedded inside the application.
So your environments need to be segregated from each other so that you are protected. If your quality environment is affected, it doesn't impact your production environment, for example. So those are some of the things that ensures that we can protect the security layer and also ensure that the data is segregated, and whatever is exposed from a quality environment might not be worth what's on the production environment, for example.
Applications have always mattered. If you've ever sat at a store and the system is very slow and everything, you get aggravated. That's exactly what we're talking about here. Now move that into the background applications for users, applications on the operational technology side. All of these need to function at a new level. That is the expectation. How we bring those together, I hope we've learned more on that today. That being said, that is the end of our session. Thank you for joining us. My name is James Francis. I was the facilitator for your roundtable today. We were sponsored by Altron Systems Integration and Cisco. Gentlemen, thank you for joining us today. There's going to be so much more to unpack next year, so we look forward to seeing you then. Thank you and goodbye.